When you came back in 73-4,
Yeah.
you were coming back as coach, but you
Yeah,
ended
and I
up
come back
playing.
with Tommy, and I started looking after the reserves. And what we'd done there, we brought a couple of young players in. I was one of the people. How many people just at the club were just going through the motions, and so I'd rather the reserves put a load of youngsters in.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I just play with them now and again, but put the youngsters in. Two of the youngsters, one went to the Arsenal, Dennis Tyler. He didn't make the first team, played about 40 odd times for the reserves. And the other one was, boy went to Southampton. He died actually, but he got in the first team. Who?
Austin Hayes.
Yeah, Justin. He got Justin going, and nice lad. And he got in the first team at Southampton. And then when we were at Slough, we sold Mickey Droy to Chelsea. Cruzy went to Luton.
Cruz, was it Slough?
Yeah, he went to Cruzy. John went to Arsenal.
Yeah.
John centre forward.
Richie.
Yeah, he went to centre forward. Yeah, and we had some decent players around. And Mickey Droy, I play with him. Now we've got him Hoddesdon. That's where he come from.
Yeah.
Played at Hoddesdon. And, he used to volley the ball off their heads. Mickey. And he's very well thought of at Chelsea then, when he played at Chelsea, Mickey. Yeah, Mickey O'Sullivan, who come here after us. Mickey, he was a good lad, good player, solid, worked hard, played for you. Yes, now we had a decent time. Then I come back and say I'd just start looking after the reserves, and I did get rid of all the, what do you call it, like, not the people who'd come down just for training,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
I got rid of all those and put these youngsters in. Like, and then what happened after that, I think Tommy fell out with Tommy Unwin. And we had a bit of a row. And Tommy said, I'm not doing it. So I wouldn't stay here with Tommy. You know, I would back Tommy all the time, like as such. You know. And then the club changed to a different atmosphere. Who come in? It's different.
It's like everything else, things change, don't they?
Oh, it's changed.
And you're not part of them then, are you?
No,
when I came
change.
back for that short spell,
Yeah.
you know, it's,
The clubs do change, you know.
yeah. Wasn't the same as what you left.
They do change, and sometimes it's a good change. So sometimes it's not good. I think again through that 60 time, we built a really good foundation. And I'll tell you something: the teams didn't want to come and play us. They did not want to come and play us. I know that.
I always remember at one of our Christmas dinners, I think Charles Hughes spoke, didn't he?
Charlie, yeah.
Charles Hughes, and he was manager of the England amateur
Yeah,
team at the
yeah.
time, and he made a comment there, and he said that, you know, you've set a standard now for amateur football at this level that people will attain to, and that was right. I think people, if they came and drew with us, they'd had a good day.
Oh, good to go, yeah.
You know? And like Alfie said, though, that was a big change from being an ordinary old Athenian League club.
Yeah.
In those 10 years, I suppose, from 60 to 70, the whole aspect of Enfield Football Club changed, didn't it? And they became a big club. I suppose you could say the same as what happened at Liverpool when Bill Shankly went from a second division team, didn't he? And he took them into a team that everybody wanted to be.
I always quote Liverpool. I talk to some of the professional players like Stevie Perriman and all those kind of players. And I said, Stevie, when you used to go to Liverpool, if you got over the halfway line, you think you'd done a feat. And that was true. And that's how we felt.
So I always felt here. When I played,
That's how we felt here at Enfield.
In the 4 years I was here, in my best times, I always felt that
I thought it would be nice to have a
I
deck
thought
chair.
people's not going to beat us too easy. Nobody ever did. We never got a stripe in the league.
It'd be nice to have a deck chair out while we was playing and have a little,
Yeah, I think I'd say the whole aspect of Enfield Football Club changed when Tommy and Dick Buck came.
And when they had teams like Wimbledon who fancied themselves a bit, Wimbledon was a strong side.
Yeah.
We gave them a 2-0 hammering, I think, down there, and they didn't want to come. They didn't want to know. Well, they wanted to know, but they didn't want to compete. it was a nice feeling, I suppose, going out with that confidence. And John Connell used to say to me, I can't believe it. He said, I sit in the dressing room, I look round. He said, I look round, I'm playing with all these, like, you know. That's how John thought about it, you know.
Yeah. And he was a good player himself, wasn't he?
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, we were just pleased to play with him.
Yeah. Right.
You all had confidence in each other.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
your abilities.
yeah. I don't think I can't remember thinking too much about the games because I think we just knew what we had to do, didn't we? And
Yeah,
we,
definitely, yeah.
And we were quite good
Yeah.
at doing what we did, weren't we? We didn't. I don't think like we had quite a lot of ordinary players like myself and Howard Moxham, Ray Hill to a degree,
Yeah.
Laurie Churchill,
Yeah.
that weren't sort of particularly outstanding players.
Well, they
We knew what we
yeah.
could do, and we did it.
And did it. I too.
And then we had
we worked hard
the
at it,
step
yeah.
up players, you know, like Alfie and Connell
Yeah.
and people like that, that could, you know, with that little bit extra. Terry
Yeah.
Howard when in his prime, and you know,
Yeah.
he was a little bit special. I mean, John Payne was only
Oh,
an ordinary player.
Johnny Payne was a tremendous, like,
Yeah, but he was only like an ordinary player
yeah,
when he
that's
started,
right, yeah.
wasn't he? You know.
He's just an ordinary player.
But he fitted into what
He
we
got in the
did.
middle of that part. And he's one of the fellas, if he got down here, he could bounce up again,
Yeah,
couldn't he,
that's
John?
right,
He's a powerful little monkey, like, and he's,
I think we were good at what we
yeah,
did.
the
wasn't
team was so it was solid. It was really solid, and Roger was
we?
a
Yeah, he was one of the better players, Roger, wasn't he? You know,
Oh,
he,
right,
he
yeah.
was.
You could
He'd
think
win
that-
your games, which you need.
You know, he wouldn't bow a knee.
No.
He wouldn't bow a knee to anyone, Roger. And no, they wouldn't, would they?
No.
They wouldn't. I tell you, they wouldn't fancy. They didn't fancy Enfield. They come over the halfway line. I didn't fancy it at all.
Malcolm Mitchell reminded me of something. When we won the Amateur Cup, and Worcester saved a penalty at Wembley. And one of the Mitch, I always remember you coming off the pitch after, he must have been there, Malcolm. And one of their players said to me, "Wouldn't have liked to have won it on penalties like that." I said, "Well, I would."
Yeah.
And I think that was was different.
yeah,
I think we
that's
were
right,
quite
yeah.
professional, weren't we?
Yeah. Remember, we had a fair side. We give, I think it's Charlton 9-0 in a Charity London Challenge Cup game, you know. And when we played the pros, we was a bit unlucky at times. We lost
Yeah.
a couple of times.
We never got stuffed by them, did we,
Yeah,
really?
Peterborough, that was a nightmare that day. Just Tommy burst through, and I can remember that. It just clawed him back. And, yeah. And we had, I tell you the other thing that we had a lot of respect from a lot of the other clubs, the Arsenal, Tottenhams, and all those people. Yeah, a lot of respect from them people. Yeah, a lot of respect from those. And even now, I talk to some of their managers and coaches now, and they say, "Yeah, you had a good side then, didn't you?" Yeah. It's got good history, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We're chatting.
That's all right.
Okay,
I'll just let him get on with it because it's just lovely to listen to.
Is that what you want to ask the questions?
We can't stop talking.
I keep waiting for a break, but there
Yeah,
isn't
go
one.
on,
It's
go on,
it's
sorry,
gold.
you-
No, it's all right. No,
you carry on.
please.
No,
You like the physical side of the game.
I like to be competitive. Yeah, I like competitive. And I was never big enough to be.
Physical, really, Alf. That's
Yeah,
what, that's
no,
always, I think it's what
I
surprised
wasn't
people about
physical,
Alfie. You
no.
know, they think that's that little fella getting away with it. You know, because comparatively, centre half, it was a little fella, wasn't he?
I could compete with things, you know. I'll stand my ground, and I hate people taking liberties when they thought they could.
But Alfie was a good footballer.
Yeah.
He didn't need to be physical, to be honest. That's his strength. Alfie was a good footballer, and he didn't. You know, me, I had to be physical because I didn't have any much other skills. But Alfie, you know, he was just a good footballer. He didn't need to be physical. He could be if he had to be, but it wasn't the strength of his game. It was there if you wanted it. His strength was it was a good
I've
footballer.
got crucified sometimes for being a little bit aggressive at times, but I could play. Yeah, I think I could.
He was a
I
good
think I
footballer,
could play a little bit. And,
proper footballer, really.
And I think I could play a little bit. And I used my head. I was so small. I wasn't that big as this. And I think I said to you earlier, it's the computer. Whatever people think, that's the things that got to solve the problems, or and you've got to see things and
We played Spurs once, didn't we? And was it a charity cup at Tottenham? And I wasn't there because I think my daughter was ill. But somebody said after the game, Bill Nicholson came into our dressing room and said, "There's only one footballer out there."
He tried to sign me, Bill.
And he was about 32 then, wasn't he?
That in the 30s. Bill that time. I need signed from Bristol City when Peter Doherty was the manager then, when I was at Barnet. I knew he went there. A few offers from the professional clubs, but
Any while at Enfield?
Any
clubs come?
A few of them come in. Yeah, when I was at Enfield, at different clubs. I say Tottenham definitely want to go down there. Brighton was another club. Queen's Park Rangers was another. Leighton Orient was another one. And,
but to be honest, those days, Alfie, the incentive wasn't there. I mean, going to work and playing football for Enfield, you were as well as playing at
I was travelling around the world as well.
Yeah.
You know,
The earnings weren't there those days, were
no,
they,
the
to
money,
play professional.
the money wasn't there. You know, the money wasn't.
That's
there.
what Roger said, wasn't he? Roger was offered to play at Watford, and he said, "Well, I'll be better off going to work."
Yeah, it is. The money wasn't there then. I've got no regrets. I'll say the only thing I'd regret I got with that side of it is that would I have made it with the bigger lads? I don't know. I don't know really. But I smash it. I've enjoyed the people I've been with, and I can't. Yeah. They say I was a bit nasty. Well, I don't think I was nasty.
No.
I don't think I was nasty or nothing like that.
Like I said, Alfie was a good footballer, and he could be physical if he had to be.
Yeah,
And that wasn't that often, really,
Well,
because his football got him out of trouble, didn't it?
Yeah.
Part of being a winner.
Yeah, he wouldn't be. No, I wouldn't be bullied.
No, that's right. Well, I think that goes for all good professionals. You see the little fellas like the good professionals are those that look after themselves. The George Best of this world, you couldn't intimidate him.
No.
You can't intimidate Messi. They
No.
just get up and get on with it. And
Yeah. I used to think like, if someone wanted to give me a smack or give me a kick, I'll just be like a cash register. I'll put it in the till till next time. You know.
Yeah.
That's
One in the memory.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
That is exactly what I've heard about you. You'd wait your moment.
Yeah.
Well, I think also if you're in a good team, you don't. If somebody hurts you, you don't actually have to go back and hurt them.
No.
Somebody else will.
Yeah.
And then they'll say, like, it's happened to me. Somebody's kicked me, and then somebody else will kick him, and they say to him, well, why'd you kick me? That's because you kicked him over there. And I think in a good team, that's what you do. I don't have to get retribution, somebody else will do it for me, and the referee doesn't realise what's going on there.
What used to hurt people more, and they might not realise it, putting the ball in that net.
That's right, beating them.
Putting the ball in that
Winning.
net. That was and say, how do you feel?
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I mean, times we've come off, haven't we? And opposition players have said to me, "Oh, you were lucky today." I say, "Oh, yeah, we were." But you have a look in the paper in the morning and see what it says.
Yeah. I think, no, it's. I was never big enough to do. I was never big enough like physical crash and bash all the time. Because there's always someone bigger and better in the end.
Yeah.
There was someone like that who'll give you. I think Gordon today, fun enough, never ever played with pads.
No, not I.
Yeah.
No. A lot of people didn't do that in those days. I never played with pads.
Never played with pads.
I said to Alfie that
My legs used to get smacked.
Tommy said to me, "You should wear pads, Gord." I was always getting like kicks on them. So I bought a pair, and I never could get on with them. I gave him to Ray Hill, and he broke his leg.
Yeah.
Broke his shin. I said, "Well, there you are."
Yeah.
And he cracked my pads.
In one sentence, if you can manage that, how would you sum up your time at Enfield? Al first.
Great. It's lovely. It's good people when I was here. Really good people. A lot of good friends still there. Very appreciative of someone like Dick Butt and that who turned the club around. I thought in that period. The spectators were really good, and I think I got really appreciated while I was here. And I think it was really. Can never fault Enfield for that.
I go along with it. I just say I think it was, as far as I was concerned, it was something of my dreams. Being local, playing for your local club, and playing at Wembley. Well, you can't beat that, can you? Really? Can't beat that.
Yeah. You accomplished a lot. We've done well at Enfield, and it's a club made you feel like that as well, because it's all together. It's all in one pot, and it's smashing. I couldn't wish for more, really. With me, anyway. I know you feel that way, Gordon.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I say, to me, it was dream world. Local boy, supporting the club, playing for them, and playing at Wembley and winning. you can't get better than that, really, can you? It's like if you ask somebody, only could be better as if I was at Tottenham and done the same thing, but I would never attain to that. So.
One of the understatements, I think, we won the league 3 times on the trot in them days. And I thought that's quite good. When it's league 3 times on the trot.
No matter what league you're in,
It's always hard to do the second and third time.
even if you're over a park, it's still a feat to win it, isn't it?
Yeah, 3 times on the trot.
To win anything, really.
And no, I thought that was quite a good effort, really.
And especially what I said about Charles Hughes said, you know, if we were there for everybody to have a go at.
Yeah.
And we managed still to do it, didn't we?
Oh, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it wasn't like a one season thing.
No, it's
You know,
good.
we were the target all
Yeah.
the time. We played like 42 cup ties.
Good
if you
era.
like.
It was a good era. And the nice thing about it, they all wanted to beat you.
Yeah.
And that was
So we played
that was a
cup finals,
that's
didn't
a
we, all
nice
the
bit.
time?
That was a nice bit, really, because you think, well, you try.
Like I
you
said
know,
earlier, if they drew, they thought they'd had a result.
just
didn't
use your brains and that, and that's the only thing nowadays when I watch it. I do think players don't think enough of themselves at times. And then the time changes, really.
they? Yeah, it's life, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a different world we're in.
Yeah.
It is,